Hello there. Happy Saturday morning. I tell you what, it's happy St. Patrick's Day weekend. Hope you all had a great St. Patrick's Day yesterday on Friday, March the 17th. Today is this morning. It is Saturday, March the 18th, where I am in the world. It is 10:17 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and I am glad to be on here. I'm going to come on here for just a few minutes and share a few more Criterion collection recommendations. Now, you may recall on this channel, I did put out a video just over a month ago in early February. At that time, I was thinking a flash sale might be near at that time. So I thought I'd put out some recommendations then. So definitely check out that video. But then a month went by and we hadn't had a flash sale yet. And so we're getting a little late in the month of March and people are wondering, is there going to be a flash sale? I think that's the big question that's out there. And, I don't know for sure, don't have any official information, but there is a pretty good feeling from a lot of people out there in the community that we could be getting a flash sale sometime this coming week. So I am officially, as my phone is mysteriously playing music for some reason, I have no idea why, there is a potential possibility of a flash sale this coming week. So in light of that, thought I'd come on here and give some recommendations of some titles to consider. So before I get into those, I'm going to jump into the comments here and see who all is out there. We got, of course, we got Darvin saying, excuse me, Darvin saying, good morning. Good morning, Darvin. Good morning to you. Good morning to Mr. Ken at Mid-Level Media. How are you doing, Ken? Darvin saying hello to Ken. Me saying good morning to everybody. Hope you all are having a great Saturday morning. I tell you what, this has been a long work week and I really need this weekend, especially with last weekend. It was awesome. Had a lot going on. The basketball tournament, the Oscars, had a lot going on last weekend. Plus we had that time change that completely threw my body clock off. And I'm in the latter stages of adjusting to the new time change. So we are on daylight time. I'm saying hello to Darvin and Ken. Ken saying hello to Darvin. Thanks for joining to everyone. We have Corey in the house. How are you doing, Corey? Good morning to you as well. Sean is out there. Hello, Sean. How are you? Sean wishing everyone a good morning. Darvin saying how everyone is doing. People are excited. Flash sale is happening. Yeah, I'm sort of reading the tea leaves out there, and I'm just hearing from different people. Of course, I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm just going through all the different, groups that are out there, and I'm hearing a lot of chattering and rumblings. Of course, I've heard nothing official, so I do not have any official information. So I don't have any official information. So I want to be very clear about that. But there is a pretty strong indication that the sale could be happening this Tuesday. So fingers crossed, we'll keep an eye out on that. And if that does happen, I will certainly be letting you know. They sure are stringing us along. Yeah, I agree, Ken. I mean, usually these flash sales occur in February, late February timeframe, or early March. In this case, it's looking like if the flash sale does happen, it from what I understand, it could possibly happen this Tuesday, the 21st of March. So, but in any event, we'll certainly take it, but it'll be kind of late in the calendar when they usually do these flash sales. Sean saying hi to Ken. Sup, James? What's up, Magnitude Rev? Ken, Kino, and Criterion are probably going to drop their sales in the same day. I was hoping they'd spread. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Ken, because I'm wondering. I know if Criterion has a flash sale, I will definitely be. I've already got my list of things that I want to pick up, but it's a matter of there are probably some Kino titles out there that I could pick up as well. So, and now my Cortana is on my computer is chiming in. These assistants, whether it's Google Assistant, Siri, Cortana, or they just pop in at different times. But yeah, I got to figure out if there's some titles I want to pick up for the Kino sale. So that's a good point. Darvin, Criterion has given out the email for the Criterion $10 gift certificate, which often implies a sale will happen. Yeah, I've been hearing that. Certainly been hearing that. Every single flash sale always has Criterion giving Criterion channel subscribers the $10 certificate. Yeah, so there's a lot of indications out there that we could be, I say could be, getting a flash sale this Tuesday. So just be on the lookout. I will certainly post on my community tab when that happens. We'll probably put out a video when that happens to notify you of the flash sale. Typically, they're 24 hours and they run from noon on Tuesday to noon the following Wednesday. So if that holds the form, we could be seeing a flash sale this coming Tuesday, the 21st at noon, going to noon on Wednesday, the 22nd, if it happens. So be on the lookout for that. I will certainly post an update on this channel if that occurs. So without any further ado, let's get into, I've got 7 recommendations here. I've got 7 titles that I'm going to recommend in this video. And these are titles that I don't believe I've recommended before. They are not titles I recommended in the previous video. These are new recommendations. And I wanted to focus mostly on titles that might not be on your radar, titles that came out several years ago that people aren't really talking about, but they're excellent titles that you ought to consider if you haven't yet picked these up. So let's go and jump into these right now. The first title is a title, if you are into the NCAA March Madness, I am not particularly, but I have been following the headlines and I've been seeing the highlights and I've been seeing all of these major upsets happen. Like last night, a 16 seed beat a 1 seed for only the 3rd time in tournament history, which is incredible, right? I think Purdue went down to, I forgot the name of the school, but Purdue, a number 1 seed, went down to a 16 seed. And I saw like the last minute of the game because I think I was just letting my dog out for the night, letting Shiloh out and bringing him back in. And the TV happened to be on, which is interesting because I think I usually keep Shiloh on the Disney Channel, but my son turned it to the NBA game or to the March Madness game. I saw the last minute of that game. But if you're into March Madness basketball, definitely consider Hoop Dreams. This is a fantastic documentary. This is one of the best documentaries that you will ever see. It is Spine number 289 in the Criterion Collection, and it's a film by Steve James, Frederick Marks, and Peter Gilbert. And it is a wonderful documentary about the lives of two young men with basketball dreams. They want to go to the NBA and fulfill their dreams to be professional basketball players. And you see the pitfalls that come along that journey. And it's just an amazing story. It's been a long time since I've seen Hoop Dreams. This is a title that's been in Criterion for a number of years, mostly in the DVD format. But a few years ago, they upgraded this to Blu-ray. And it is one of the best documentaries that's out there from Criterion or anyone. It's called Hoop Dreams. And if you are a basketball person, or even if you're not a basketball person, this is a great documentary to check out. Fantastic. It's Spine 289 in the Criterion Collection. Highly recommend Hoop Dreams. All right, let me go to the Criterion site. That is the first of 6 titles that I am going to recommend. So I'm going to go to the Criterion site for just a quick second. And I am going to show a few pictures from Hoop Dreams. Type it in here. This is 1994 film from Steve James. Y'all should be seeing it right now. It's currently available on Blu-ray at $31.96. If we get a flash sale, it'll be on sale for like $20 roughly. There's also a DVD option as well for $23.96 or $29.95. It would be roughly $15 on a 50% off sale. So this edition includes a lot of wonderful features, including audio commentaries, life after Hoop Dreams, additional scenes. Got a nice music video in there from 1994 for the film's theme song that opens up when you first watch the movie. It comes in at 172 minutes and it's in color and it's spine 289 again, and it is amazing. It is absolutely spectacular. Here are some visuals from this incredible documentary. It was shot. I don't know all the specifics of it, but it was shot with some pretty rudimentary elements. So it's not the best looking type film, but it just has a wonderful documentary feel to it, and it is just an absolutely extraordinary film that you ought to see. So that is Hoop Dreams from the Criterion Collection. Definitely recommend that title. All right, the next title here, and then I'll go into a few comments, is a title that I really, really like. It's from director John Ford, and it features one of the best actors I think that's ever come along in Hollywood, Mr. Henry Fonda. And this is him playing a great role of Abraham Lincoln before Abraham Lincoln became president. So he's playing young Mr. Lincoln. He's playing Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer, and so he's playing a young Abraham Lincoln practicing law and taking on a very difficult case in this wonderful, wonderful film. It's spine number 320 in the Criterion Collection, and I really, really like this film. This is a very nice film in the collection that a lot of people are probably not talking about, but one that you ought to consider. So there it is, young Mr. Lincoln. Gotta love it, gotta dig it. It's got a nice stapled booklet in here, which is very nice. And I love the artwork in here. This is Henry Fonda playing Abraham Lincoln, getting the people in check. There are people protesting. He's trying to get a fair trial for this person who is accused, and the townspeople are having none of it, and he's having none of it either. He is standing up for what's right. He is young Abraham Lincoln, and he is awesome in this role. Again, this is spine number 320, and I highly recommend this title. It is young Mr. Lincoln. So let me see what we have here in terms of more comments. Let's see some more comments here. Reginald a miser, trying to get stuff that's not streaming somewhere. Use my money wisely. That's good advice. And that's a good approach. I mean, if you're the type of person that doesn't want to, if you want to kind of, save a little bit and just focus on titles you can't get on streaming, that is a great approach. Good thing about Kino is it will last a few weeks. You got to jump on Criterion immediately. That's a good point. And Ken, I definitely would love to hear some of your recommendations on the Kino stuff, because I went really deep into Kino last year as well as Arrow, and Kino especially has just been slaying it. They have been killing it for the last a couple of years. I love it. I still need to get my first Kino release. You definitely do, Darvin. I mean, there's a lot to get, and a sale will be a great opportunity to get a few of those Kino titles. One of my recommendations would be Frownland. Okay, Frownland. Okay, that sounds interesting. That's from the Safdie brothers, right? Yep. Super underrated release. I will definitely have to consider that one. Kino does great work. Darvin, so many great 4Ks. I agree. Asking for recommendations from Ken as well as I on Kino. I plan on getting Inland Empire. That's one of the ones I'm planning to get as well. I was originally going to get it from Amazon, but my Amazon expected delivery date isn't until April, and that's just not going to cut it, because I need to do a review on this channel in the month of March for Inland Empire. So I am going to get it during the flash sale if it happens on Tuesday. So we shall see. I've been interested in that title for a while now. I am too, very much so. You'd also recommend anything from Osman Sembin and Satyajit Ray. I agree. Both of those directors are phenomenal. I have several titles of both of them in the collection, and they are Just fantastic. I mean, highly, highly recommended. Osman Sambin, Black Girl, Mandabi, Satyajit Ray. Of course, he has the Apu trilogy, which is wonderful. He has Hero. He has Devi. Uh, Amazing, amazing titles. Highly recommended. You can't go wrong, absolutely, with either of them. Death Wish and Dress to Kill would be high up there, Darvin. Oh, okay. So Dress to Kill 4K, that was Kino? Okay, done. If there's a Kino sale, I'm all over it. That is definitely what I'm picking up. I'm still going to keep my Criterion Blu-ray of that because I love that Criterion edition, but I definitely want that film on 4K. It's one of my favorites from Brian De Palma. So that's a good tip. Hoop Dreams, loved by Traveling Man, but gonna wait for a possible 4K upgrade. Yeah, and that's interesting. Let's talk about that for a second. A 4K upgrade of Hoop Dreams. That's one of those titles that I wonder, would a film like that, given the way it was shot and given the elements that are with that film, it being like almost a videotape type of elements, would 4K do that much good for that type of a film? I'm not really sure. That's something I would love to hear. Someone that has a technical perspective on that. Would 4K do a lot for a film like Hoop Dreams? Mid-level media, I was honestly thinking of getting either Touch of Evil, Eternal Sunshine, The Spotless Mind, or The Apartment. I highly recommend The Apartment. Definitely get The Apartment on 4K. If you don't have it, it is excellent. From Kino. That's one of the great additions they put out last year. And thanks, Ken, for the recommendation on Dress to Kill. So I need to pick that one up. And I also picked up Death Wish recently. So all excellent stuff from Kino Lorber. Traveling Man, has there ever been any rumors of a Hoop Dreams 4K or new restoration? I know that I haven't heard of anything of that sort. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to see. I would love to understand that from a technical standpoint in terms of what could 4K do with those elements. So we shall see. Saying Traveling Man, good morning, Mama Blu-ray. Hope you're doing well out there. Hope you and Sue and Daddy Blu-ray are doing great. Mama Blu-ray, hello from Darwin. We got Carrie Louise Henderson saying hello to everyone. All right. Let's see here. Uh, Wait a minute. What did I just? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I clicked something. Yay, Reckless. The Dollars trilogy is top notch as well. Yep. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So yeah, so far I've recommended these two titles here that I mean cannot recommend them enough. Hoop Dreams and Young Mr. Lincoln. Let me go back to the Criterion site and I will share a couple more recommendations here and let's keep this train rolling. Won't be on here long this Saturday morning. Just wanted to pop on real quick. I'm hearing rumblings of a potential sale. I'm just sort of reading the tea leaves and sort of hearing some things of some possibilities in this world. So we shall see what happens. Fingers crossed. The Friends of Eddie Coyle. If you like Robert Mitchum, this is Spine 475. If you like a really nice, gritty crime drama, this is set in the 1970s. This is a Peter Yates film. I told many people this. I have a personal affinity for films from the 1970s. The 1970s is probably not probably. It is my favorite decade of cinema, I would say, because I just love the aesthetic of that decade and that period, and I love films from that decade. Especially, I love to see like these 4K restorations of movies from the 1970s and seeing the 70s brought to life in 4K. It's just I just love that. And the Friends of Eddie Coyle, it's a Blu-ray in this case, but it's got a high definition digital restoration. This is one I wouldn't mind seeing get a 4K upgrade from Criterion. It stars Robert Mitchum. He is a criminal, of course, set in Boston, and he's down on his luck trying to navigate the criminal underworld that is Boston and dealing with, dangerous, seedy elements that are around him. This is an excellent addition. Doesn't have a ton of special features. It just has, of course, the audio commentary from director Peter Yates and a stills gallery. You do get a staple booklet, a thick one actually. I'm a huge fan of staple booklets. for those of you know about me on this channel, with some nice, see, some nice pictures in here, if I can get to them. Hold on. You know what the 2001 theme is? That's the sound of Mitchum waking up. Check that out. Nice. But yeah, very nice thick staple booklet you get in this edition. This is a really nice crime drama. If you like crime type films like Goodfellas, Casino, the Godfather, or what have you, this is a different type of that, but it's a crime mob type drama, and I really love this film, and I highly recommend it. It's called The Friends of Eddie Coyle. Stars Robert Mitchum. There's only a Blu-ray option. Okay, it's still available, and you see here that the special features are pretty limited. Just got that audio commentary and a stills gallery. It's a 1973 film. It comes in at 102 minutes and the spine 475. Here are some of the images from the film, or actually, here's an image from the film that's listed down there. But just a fantastic film that I highly, highly recommend. Now, there's another film starring Robert Mitchum in the Criterion Collection that I would normally highly recommend, and that is The Night of the Hunter. Now, this is in the Criterion Collection, and I say that I would normally highly recommend it, except now. There has just been announced from Kino Lorber, our friends at Kino Lorber, a new 4K edition of The Night of the Hunter. It's coming out, I believe, on May the 30th. So if you were thinking about picking up this Criterion edition, it is an excellent Criterion, but just consider that you might instead want to get that Kino Lorber 4K. It's going to have, of course, 4K and Dolby Vision grade for those wonderful black and white visuals of this film. I think this film is going to look amazing on 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision. So now, if you happen to be someone who already has this edition like me, I'm planning on keeping this and getting that 4K from Kino Lorber and having that nice 4K picture with Dolby Vision grade. Another title here is a title from my favorite director of all time, Sir Alfred Hitchcock. This is one of his early films, a film that many people may not be talking about, is Spine 885. I love this edition. It's The Lodger. It's a new 2K digital restoration. Came out a couple years ago, but it's a 2K digital restoration of the film The Lodger that is from 1927. So, 95-year-old film, 96-year-old film now, almost 100 years old film. Looks great on this Blu-ray disc. They did a wonderful restoration work. They put in new title cards. I think they did something with the music as well, just with the score, just amazing. It's a 2K digital restoration with a new piano score by Brand. So they did a lot of work to sort of bring this film back up, but still retain the essence of what this film was, and just a beautiful restoration of this film. It's a wonderful early Hitchcock mystery. You're wondering, who is this lodger? Who is this mysterious man? It's his third feature film. It's The Lodger, the story of the London fog. And it's a wonderful, wonderful film that I highly, highly recommend. Again, it is 885 in the Criterion Collection. I'll show you a few pictures from it real quickly, if they have any pictures on the site. Let's take a look at it real quick. Yeah, so Alfred Hitchcock, it's The Lodger, a story of the London fog. Of course, you have a Blu-ray option and a DVD option on 2 discs. And check it out. These are some pictures. I happen to have one of those old DVDs from Mill Creek, I think, from 20 years ago or so. These old DVDs of Alfred Hitchcock films, and one of those films was The Lodger. And when you compare side by side, you put in one of those old DVDs, you put in this new Blu-ray with this 2K digital restoration, you really can appreciate the great work that these film restoration people do. It's phenomenal how they can bring these films back to life. So that is The Lodger, a story of the London fog. I will come out of the sharing, come back in here and see what people have to say. And then I will jump back in, share my last 3. And then I'm going to finish this cup of coffee and get on with the rest of my Saturday morning. So let's see here. Oh, this is a nice cup of a Gavalia signature coffee. Let's see here. Uh, I'm gonna buy the 4K of 12 Angry Men. That's another one from Kino, I believe, right? Yep, good one. I know Mega Mike talked about Mystery Men. All right, def definitely worth it. Traveling Man, mine too. Love stuff like Serpico. Cool. All the President's Men, Dog Day Afternoon. Okay. So does Dog Day Afternoon have a 4K? If so, I definitely want to pick that up. Criterion is worth it for the booklets alone. Indeed, stapled booklets. Yes, stapled booklets are better than leaflets, I think is what you're saying. Yep, yep. I know that the 1950s is personally one of my favorite decades of films. Seven Samurai, Some Like It Hot, Home of the Holiday, Rear Window, Night of the Hunter. Yeah, Paths of Glory. Oh, absolutely. Great addition that I picked up last year. Yep, that title sounds interesting. 70s movies do have a feel and aesthetic to them. The fashion and decor of that decade are very unique to the time period as well. I agree. I love the 70s. I love it. Love it. Hard copy blues saying hi, people saying hi to each other. The Roman Polanski is the tent on Criterion. The tenant on Criterion. Okay, we shall see. Yeah, I agree. Great cinematography on the lodger. I don't think so, Carrie. I have a Scream Factory release of the tenant. Ah, okay. So maybe not. Kino, I think. Patrick Craig says, not to my knowledge. Carrie says, thanks, gang. Magnitude Rev. Henderson, no, it is not. So people sharing insights with one another. All right. I'm definitely double dipping on the Night of the Hunter 4K. Yeah, I am too. I am too. 100%. 100%. I already have this. I would say if you already have this edition, definitely keep it. I was actually trading notes with Tim Talks Talkies on Instagram this morning, talking about that very thing that, we're happy about the Night of the Hunter getting the Kino release, but definitely if you already have this Criterion edition with the nice features on here, definitely keep this one and enjoy that new 4K from Kino. That's one of the titles that to me is worth a double dip, and I'm very selective about that, but there are some titles that I'm like 100% double dip. Others, there are other titles in my collection that I have on DVD that I'm perfectly fine to keep on that format. It just depends on the title. James, did you get the Music Room by Satyajit Ray? That is one that I have not gotten yet that I need to pick up because I love Satyajit Ray's films. So that's one I need to pick up. I'll probably consider picking it up in the July sale. Yep. Yep. We'll definitely consider that. See here. Patrick says the music room is fantastic, highly underrated. I still need to get Debbie and Late Ray in the July sale, hopefully. Got to get Pasolini. Yep. I picked up the 4K release of The Third Man. I was really impressed. That's a title, that's a film I still need to see. That is one of those films I need to see, The Third Man. All right. So I got three more recommendations to go here that titles I'm really excited about. Try to focus on titles that are not talked about today, but I do have one that recently came out last year that I'm excited about that gets a lot of talk. So let's go ahead and jump into these recommendations right now. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. And let's go ahead and get into it. And let's get on with the rest of our Saturday. There's a lot going on. What do y'all got going on this Saturday? What are y'all doing? Are y'all watching any of the wonderful NBA or not NBA? Well, the NBA is going on, but any of the wonderful uh, NCAA tournament basketball action? Doing anything in the yard? Spring cleaning? What's going on? All right. The next title is a title from a film by Almodovar, from Pedro Almodovar. This is a wonderful film, and I've actually done a review of this title on my channel. Yeah, I think I did a review. Did I do a review of The Friends of Eddie Coyle? I might have, but I did a review of this title here on my channel, and it is a wonderful film from director Pedro Almodovar, and it is all about my mother, and it is spine number 1012 in the Criterion Collection. This film is wonderful. It is basically a beautiful story about motherhood. It has a wonderful cast. Cecilia Roth is a mother in this film. She experiences unspeakable loss with the death of her son. and she goes on an incredible journey, an incredible journey. She goes on an incredible, journey as part of this film. This film also has Penelope Cruz, Marissa Paredes um, in here as well. A wonderful mix of different types of characters, but it's all centered around the idea of the celebration of motherhood. So, really, really love this film. Pedro Almodovar has a wonderful visual style. There's another film in the collection called that he has in the collection. What? Oh my goodness, the name is escaping me. Now I got to look this up. All About My Mother. All right. So he has another title in this collection. Yeah, here we are. Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, that I also highly recommend. But this one is All About My Mother, and it is an Oscar-winning melodrama. I forget which Oscar it won, but it's a fantastic film. It's a new 2K digital restoration. You got a documentary on here. You got a television program from '99 featuring Almodovar and his mother. Yeah, that was really good. The feature that has his mother, fantastic, because she was highly influential, in his life. You have, of course, a Blu-ray and a DVD option. These are some of the images from the film. Penelope Cruz is excellent in it. This is Cecilia Roth. You have just a wonderful cast of characters. Such a beautiful, colorful film. This is a film that I actually would love to see get a 4K upgrade. I would be thrilled if this movie got a 4K upgrade because it is so absolutely beautiful with those colors. I think HDR would just tear this movie up. So, but we shall see. But this is a wonderful, wonderful film that I highly, highly recommend. So you have in an instant, nurse Manuela Cecilia Roth loses the teenage son she raised on her own. Grief stricken, she sets out to search for the boy's long lost father in Barcelona, where she reawakens in a new maternal role at the head of a surrogate family that includes a pregnant HIV positive nun, Penelope Cruz, an illustrious star of the stage, Marissa Paredes, and a transgender sex worker, Antonia San Juan. Beautifully performed and bursting with cinematic references, All About My Mother is a vibrant tribute to female fortitude, a one of a kind family portrait, and a work of boundless compassion. Wonderful, wonderful film. Cannot recommend this title enough. It is absolutely fantastic. All About My Mother. All right, the next title that I'm going to share with you is a title that features two amazing performers, James Earl Jones, Diane Carroll. It's from 1050, it's Spine 1052. This is another 1970s film set in New York City, and it is Claudine. This is directed by John Barry. I love this movie, folks. It is just a wonderful film. You have Diane Carroll, the single mother in New York City, trying to raise her children. You have, James Earl Jones is a garbage man, and they strike a relationship and go on a beautiful romantic journey, trying to figure out life in Harlem in the 1970s and navigating that very uncertain journey is what they're doing in this film. This is Claudine. Wonderful movie. It comes in at 92 minutes, Spine 1052 in the collection. There's a Blu-ray option and a DVD option. You have the wonderful, ever beautiful Diane Carroll. James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll form a nice relationship in this movie. Of course, Diane Carroll's a single mother trying to make it. James Earl Jones comes into her life. Um, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful story. Again, this is one of those great 1970s movies, folks, that I just absolutely love. I love films set in that period. There's just something about it that I just cannot escape. And this is Claudine. Wonderful film. You get some nice features on here. You get an audio commentary, you get a new conversation, you get an interview with Imogen Sarah Smith on director John Barry. Imogen Sarah Smith is one of the best commentators on Criterion Collection editions. I love every feature that she's involved in, and she's on this disc here. Wonderful. So this is a wonderful addition from the Criterion Collection, and it is Claudine, which brings us to my last recommendation. So far, I have recommended 6 titles. I said I'd recommend seven in this video, and the seventh one is coming up right now. And it is a title that I was super excited about when it was first announced back in February of last year. It became my number one anticipated title of the year at that point, and is one of my top 10 favorite Criterion releases of 2022. And it is none other than the Billy Wilder classic coming in at Spine 1126, the 1944 film Double Indemnity on 4K Ultra HD. So this is the only 4K that I'm recommending in this video, of course, or live stream. But it is fantastic. It is absolutely extraordinary. This is the granddaddy of all film noir right here. Double Indemnity from 1944. You have Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, Edward G. Robinson in this wonderful tale of sex, lust, and insurance fraud, all wrapped up in this, and murder as well, wrapped up in this wonderful tale, beautifully written by Billy Wilder, and it is absolutely fantastic. You get a 4K disc and a Blu-ray disc in this edition. The writing of this film is some of the best writing of any film you will ever see to this day. And this is what, 80 years later. This is one of the best written films ever made. It is a fantastic film noir. And let's just go to the listing on the Criterion site right now for Double Indemnity. If you have not seen Double Indemnity, when we go off the stream, you need to pop that disc in the player right now. The Double Indemnity. It's got the 4K option, Blu-ray option. It's Spine 1126. It comes in at 108 minutes, so it won't keep you too long. It's under 2 hours. It's from 1944. And look at the special features on here. Ton of wonderful features, including a commentary. You also get a conversation with Eddie Muller and Imogen Sarah Smith, which is excellent. There's a wonderful documentary on here on Billy Wilder, Billy Wilder on here as well, and you get a radio adaptation. But it's just a wonderful, wonderful film, and it's got a new 4K restoration that's on this 4K disc, and it also includes Dolby Vision HDR. So it's a beautiful 4K disc that I think you will really get a lot of enjoyment out of. The story is spectacular. The writing's amazing. The acting by Fred McMurray, Barbara Stanwyck, and Edward G. Robinson is like up here. If this is a 10, they're up here. I mean, it is just fantastic. Edward G. Robinson, he is so good, so good as the famed insurance adjuster. He is just spectacular in this role. But this is just an amazing film that I highly, highly recommend. I cannot recommend Double Indemnity enough, and it is from the Criterion Collection. So yeah, so there you have it. These are my 7 recommendations. I need to pull out the Night of the Hunter because I just showed that to talk about the upcoming 4K release. But these are the 7 recommendations that I have for what could be a flash sale coming up pretty soon. And if we don't get a flash sale, then you know what? These are still titles that I highly recommend for any upcoming sale. Or if you just feel like getting them right now, these are some great titles to consider picking up. So let me go into the comments here and we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up here. Let's see. Darwin agrees with Patrick. Let's see. Debbie is fantastic. Absolutely. 100%. I'd recommend it. That's great. Gonna watch Ireland hopefully win the Six Nations Rugby Championship. Okay, well, enjoy that. I'm just about to watch Downpour from the WCP set. Awesome. Great recommendations, James. I finally watched All But My Mother last weekend. Great. I hope you enjoyed it. Yes, super duper. Great show that got loads of Almodovar trademarks and nuances. Awesome. Yeah, if you have not seen an Almodovar film, I would highly recommend All About My Mother, or again, Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. I love his visual style. He has an amazing visual style, very colorful, very rich. It just pops out at you. It's fantastic. Think it was best foreign picture? Okay, awesome. Um, you know what? While I'm here, I can just go ahead and let me see. All About My Mother. Let me see. 1999 film. I'm just going on the IMDb right now to see what awards it won. What did it win? Details. Yeah, I'll just assume that I will assume that it won best international feature. So, Darwin, they are charming. All except bad education. Patrick Craig. Okay, that's disturbing, but so well acted. Okay, people are sort of trading notes with each other on these movies. Claudine sounds good to me. Putting it on my Criterion wish list. It's a good one. It's a really good one. It's a really good one. Double Indemnity is fantastic. Totally agree. It is absolutely fantastic. I blind bought Double Indemnity, but honestly, I still haven't popped it in the player. All right, Magnitude. Today is the day. There's no time like the present. Watch Double Indemnity. Put it in the player today. Do it. Yeah, murder has a big part to play in Double Indemnity. Can't believe you almost forgot that. That's right. Oh yeah, that's right. There's insurance fraud. There's lust. Oh yeah, there's murder too. Yeah. So watch it ASAP. I agree. Watch it right now. Agreed. So everybody agrees. The unscientific poll agrees. Watch Double Indemnity right now. But anyway, hope you all have a great rest of the day. Thank y'all for coming on this morning. I just wanted to pop on here for a few minutes and share some recommendations. Again, we don't know for sure if the flash sale is happening this Tuesday, but there's indications that it might. And if it does, I wanted to provide these recommendations to you to consider for this upcoming, for what could be an upcoming sale. And even if we don't get this sale, perhaps we'll get a future Barnes& and Noble sale. Whenever that happens, these are some titles to consider picking up. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. Hope you all have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting some rest here and running after my teenager, taking care of the dog, watching a few movies, and doing a few other things. Also, tonight at 10 o'clock here, Eastern Daylight Time, 10 p.m. tonight, I will be doing another stream where I will be reviewing and sharing thoughts on The Last of Us season 1 on HBO Max. I'll also have my guests will be Eddie and Haley from Fans of Something from that wonderful channel. They are fellow people who live in Georgia as well. I live in North Georgia. They live in South Georgia. But we're going to come on together and we're going to share our thoughts on this amazing series on HBO Max that just wrapped season 1 of The Last of Us. We're going to share our thoughts tonight at 10 p.m. So definitely join us for that. Would love to hear what you think about this series, whether you played the video games or not. Love to hear perspectives on what I think is an amazing TV adaptation of that video game series. Have a great rest of your Saturday, everybody, and we'll look to see you next time at the movies. Peace.